Hey guys, hey peeps, thanks for checking out my latest video. So I found a site a few days ago that has Rainmakers information on it. It's the first site I believe that's out there, but it didn't have correct information when I looked at it a few days ago, so that's why I didn't mention it, but somebody commented on it on one of my videos, and so I went back and looked, and it does look like it's getting fairly correct. So it's luckytrader.com, and it was like an NFT site, but they've added this Rainmakers section. So let's see, I haven't actually looked at news and strategies. So they break down things, contest EV. So this shows you how filled things are. So for example, let's see here. Core. This just shows you the entries, and I guess if there's overlay, so it doesn't look like they're showing green. But then there's some interesting stuff. So if you go to portfolio and you put a username in, so this is the guy who won the $100,000 one last week, and it looked like he only had one entry, or maybe this was his first entry. But if you put that in, it should bring up, yeah, it brings up their entire Rainmakers portfolio, and you can refresh, and it shows what they spent, but it's all, you got to remember, there's buys and sells, there's packs and things like that that aren't necessarily included, but it can give you some idea, and then sort of like the floor value. I don't know about their estimated value. Some of those looked off to me. And then you can like sort by all the things such as superstar, current projections. They give projections. I'll show you that in a second. Floor price. So like his highest one he has. I mean, look at these cards this guy has. Okay, so just on legendary, or he actually has Rainmakers too. So he's got these Rainmakers, Damian Pierce, Mostert, Marquez Valdez. And you can go look at like all the different rarities, legendary. He's got Jefferson, Allen, Herbert. So this dude, he actually made back, let's see, if you go back, then it shows that they're estimating that he spent $100,000 on the marketplace, not including packs, but he made $100,000 this week, or she, but it's Jeff. So, so that's what I call a whale, right there. And you can group by superstar and all that. Then if you go to projections, price and projections, this gives you a breakdown of cards, and you can find what they consider bargains. So like, let's go to like elite level. And then if you sort by this difference, they're saying that this Debo is the best deal at 429. They estimate it's worth 721. I'm not really sure about this estimated, but it can show you some that may be good deals. So let's say you do just out of one set to narrow it down, like momentum, and then you take off the superstars. So they have the best deal is this Aaron Jones at 440. They estimate it's worth 691. Mixon, Kamara, Hurts, Ayuk, Sanders, Mariota, Fields, Akers. But another nice thing you can do is then you can like sort by position to see their projection. So they give these as the fantasy projection for the current week. So I did, just to make it simpler, I did one set, and I will include the superstars in this. So, but it also, you can search for non-superstars. So on quarterbacks, I like have Josh Allen at 28, 29, Lamar, Hurts, Mahomes, Kyler, Brady, Herbert, Burrow, Rodgers, Cousins, Stafford, Wilson, Jones, Garoppolo, etc. And you can see their projections. So they have like Allen way above, 5 points above, and then those two about 2 points above, down to Herbert, and they have Burrow kind of low. And then you can actually, they have this has been updated as well. They have a remaining season, and I'm not sure where they're getting these from or how good they are, but so they have Allen like 30 points higher than the rest over the rest of the season, so probably like 2 points a game more than Hurts. Jackson, Mahomes, Brady, Herbert, Rodgers over Burrow, Kyler down here, and then pretty big gap to Russell Wilson. So they almost have like a top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quarterbacks basically. On the running backs, so they have Ramondre Stevenson as their top projected running back. Then Barkley, McCaffrey, Taylor, Eckler, Fournette, Chubb, Kamara, Mixon, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Wilson, Montgomery, and Sanders. Then a little bit of a gap there, it looks like. I mean, there's a couple other gaps. They should have a thing points divided by price. That would be good as well. Yeah, they should have an automatic field for you divide the price by their estimated projections or their remaining season. On remaining season, they have Saquon, McCaffrey, Eckler, Mixon, Chubb, Cook. So a little gap there with Saquon, a gap with McCaffrey, and these guys are pretty bunched. Down to Henry, then you got Jones, Kamara, Sanders, then a little gap, Swift, Taylor, Ramondre, Fournette, Hilaire, Singletary, Mostert, Montgomery, Gordon, pretty high, Jacobs, Elliott, Dillon, Connor, Najee, Robinson, Akers, Dobbins, Walker, Etienne, you can see, et cetera, there. As far as what they say is the best deal, let's see what they come up with for that. So they're saying regardless of superstar, the best deals on running backs. This is now we'll do all sets to see now because that might be different. So they have the Eckler momentum, Aaron Jones momentum, Cook momentum, Jones elevate, Mixon, Jones, Kamara, McCaffrey, Cook, Jones, Mixon, etc. So you can see like what players they think, and if there's one that stands out on a particular player, so we can say maybe let's see maybe this. What's one that's like the Kamara or like a Connor? Let's put in a Connor. Yeah, so there you can see like the different prices between the Connors, and there's kind of a gap there. So if you're going to buy one, you'd go to those two, which you can still do that in the market in the Rainmakers shop under Rainmakers shop tabs on the site. Then they have a lineup builder, which is pretty cool, but of course it's based on their projections. So let's see. And mine's not going to look that great, but I have a lot of players going in the various showdowns, and I also have a lot of players off this week, including some ones I just bought. So the way I usually build it when I'm doing it is I do the showdowns first, and then I see if I have enough rare to enter them. So like the Washington, Chicago's the first showdown, and I see if I have enough rares. So in this one, it shows you what you have from that game. Sometimes but then sometimes when I look at Rainmakers, I may decide, oh, I want to use those players not in the Rainmakers, or there's extra players. So I know I have a Wentz rare, so I'll put that in. I don't have any rare running backs. I got a rare McLaurin. I got a rare Washington D, and I got a rare Logan Thomas, but he's out. So if I want to do it, I can go him, and then I'd probably go Montgomery, and they have their totals there. So they have him at 15, they have him at 14. Sort of debatable if you wanted to. You could try different ways. And I'm like, well, could I cash in that? Could I cash high? And that's the projected points. Pretty low, but not that many people enter the rare showdowns. They're usually fairly easy to cash. And this is a defensive game, so I think that's a decent lineup. So I can say add lineup. So those cards are gone from my selection now. Then I'll go to the core version of that because I know I have players in that game. So here I don't have another Wentz. So I'd have to go, I did have another one, but I guess it's gone. So then I'd have to go on my own. So I got 2 Antonio Gibson, so maybe I'd stick that in. Samuel's 12 points, I'd stick that in. And then McLaurin and Mooney are 11 each, so I guess I would stick those in. And that left a few off. Let me just see if I exit that one. Yeah, so then I know, then I can look and say, oh, I thought there were some other ones, flex. I know I have a McKissick that's not on there, but I'm just trying to see how it works, basically. I don't know where that. Oh, because you can't use 4 of the same team. So then I'm looking at this, going, I could try this one. It's not bad. It's got 4 skill players. So actually, I'm going to put Samuel as. I'm going to try Samuel as my captain. And then here it shows all the ones I have. So because I have 2 Antonio Gibson, so I might as well use that. Logan Thomas is hurt, unfortunately, and these are the backups. So if Wentz does get hurt, which he was hurt, but he's going to play. And then serial numbers, I'll put the lower serial in, I believe, because it's a showdown. That one's, but that was from a starter pack, so that's a crazy high serial, so it doesn't really matter there. And then I'll go and add that lineup. Then I will go to let's see, the Dallas Philly. I don't think I have enough rares for that one. Let me see. No, I don't have enough rares. So that one I'll go straight to the, then you can go delete. So then I would go straight to the core version. So here I have a Hertz starter pack one. Do I want to use it? And this is the question. I think I'm going to. I mean, this will be a good lineup. I know that. So I'd pick Hertz as my. They have him at 24 points. I have a Lamb. That's a superstar. I have two Devontae Smiths. Serial doesn't really matter at this point, but I'll go ahead and put the lower one in. And then I have a Gallup and Ezekiel Elliott, a Pollard, Schultz. So I have two Zeke, so I'll go ahead and put the Zeke in. And they got that at 63, which is pretty high. I mean, the only other combo that probably would be higher than this would be A.J. Brown there, and maybe Sanders. But that looks like a pretty good one to me. So I'll add that lineup. Then we go on to Denver and the Chargers. Now this one, I have some choices because I have Herbert, a couple Herberts, and do I want to use them in the game? Now I don't have enough rares, so I'm not going to do that. So on that one, I don't have enough rares, so I'll do the showdown on that, or the core on that. So I have two Herberts, so I might as well use one, but I also have an Eckler, so I have to decide which one. I think the Herberts I'm going to use for deep rosters. This is not where my actual lineups are going to be probably, but the showdowns are pretty easy ones to look at. I got a Keenan Allen, but he keeps missing. I got a kicker. I got a rare kicker. Cortland Sutton. I think I would probably go with Eckler, Keenan Allen, this kicker, and then I might buy a defense. Let's see, I got a running back. I might buy let's see, Joshua Kelly plays a little bit. Albert O hasn't been getting much playing time. I guess I'll throw the Josh Kelly in for that now, and then I would maybe think if I wanted to get a different one, even for these two, because core cards are pretty cheap, although you want to get that before the game comes, a couple days before the game comes up. So then I would add that lineup. Then I usually go to the rare, like the rare main one, the Fiat. And then I'm like, okay, let's see what the best one I can make here is. That's rare. So I'll pull up my rare cards. Unfortunately, some of my guys are off this week, or they're in the games like the other games like I know that Herbert is. So here I'd put a McCaffrey, a Metcalf. See, I sort of know I have like some pairings that I'm not sure if I want to break up or not. McCaffrey, Metcalf. I might just for the hell of it would do like a Matt Ryan with the Pittman. Not many people would expect that. This might not project that high. And then the last spot I would use a core. So then I would, I got a Saquon. Let's just say I threw the Saquon in there. So 85 points. That's not bad. I mean, you want to be in the 90s really, but usually the highest projected lineups are around 100. And if Ryan and Pittman actually have a decent game for once, I like the McCaffrey, Metcalf, and Saquon. So that could be a pretty good lineup. So maybe I'll add that one. And then I would probably build either another rare or look at the rare deep roster. But let's go and look at the rare deep roster because I know I have a Herbert that I want to use. So guys like this, you want to and you want to keep track of what you have in the showdowns and what's extra because you can only use them in the deep rosters. So there I know I want to do that. And then let's see what other rares I have that are available. I got a Connor. I got a Zeke or a Carter. I guess Zeke. Might need to get another rare running back for this week. I got a Lockett. I got a Cooper. I have a Mark Andrews, but regular. But I'll just try that Njoku. and a kicker. See, that's from the game. That's from the Sunday game, so I know that. So I'll just throw that in. So I only have 2 rare kickers that are eligible this week. So I can probably only put 3 deep rosters maybe, rares. And then the defense. Probably the Carolina at the Rams. So then I have a spot for a core card. Got Fournette, Kamara. There's the Mark Andrews. I want to use him. The tight ends, you don't really, you want to save them for your. So I'd probably put the Fournette in there. That's got like 116 points. That's pretty good for a rare. For a rare, I mean. So then I'd add that lineup. Then I might go to my cores and enter a core one. See what I have available. I got a Burrow and a Rodgers. Well, I guess let's straight up first just try this one. Burrow. I have a T. Higgins if he's healthy. Kamara. Debo. And I think Aaron Jones, let's say. So that's 84 points. I usually have a stronger one on that, but that's not too bad. So add that lineup. Then I'll maybe do a core deep roster just to see what I have here. I know I have a Herbert there I want to use. Well, maybe I'll save that for a small one. Maybe I'll do an Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, my quarterbacks are pretty shoddy this week. Maybe I'll do an Aaron Rodgers because I know I have a Lazard that I want to use with it. What tight end did I use for that last? I didn't use the Andrews. Well, I should have used the Andrews. Oh no, this is the first one. So I'll use the Andrews on the deep. Then I'll do Breece Hall. I'm going to try Kenneth Walker because I have 2 of those. Metcalf. Kicker. Minnesota at Miami. Defense. The Rams. And then a flex. I seem to have more good. Well, I got 2 Deontay Johnsons. He's been terrible, but I'll throw that in there, I guess. And that's 120. And that lineup. Oh yeah, no, that's why I would have used the. So then you can go back and look at your lineups. If you go to lineup builder, you can go back and look at them. So like there, I actually did need to use the Herbert in this one. So I'd swap out him and him. So put the Herbert in. I guess Deontay or Gabe Davis or Cooper. I got 2 Seattle on there, but that's one of the highest scoring games, so I'm not real worried about that. In this case, I probably put the Deontay and flex. Maybe the Hilaire. Are there any other guys going from that? No, I need to see what other guys that are going from that game because from the night games. So like I know I have a Pollard and there's a Pollard and that Devontae Smith. So I'll throw that Devontae Smith in there. But then I want to make sure I use all the guys like the Pollard. I have another Zeke. I have Gallups and like that Devontae Smith. So I could actually build another lineup of the Philly, Dallas. So anyway, this is the kind of thing, and then you add that. Then you can see all your lineups. This doesn't automatically put them in for you though. But let's see, where is it? Yeah, if you cancel. So I have 8 lineups built, and it shows the projections there. 46. That's on a rare though. 41. 66. Yeah, I can do another Dallas one, but it wouldn't have Hurts or it would probably be like Devontae, Pollard, Gallup, and Zeke or something like that. I got a Chargers pretty low, but these 2 I could swap in if I wanted to because Eckler and Sutton's a good pair. I got a rare classic for 85. I mean, that's Matt Ryan, but could come in decent. I got a rare for 117. That one should be pretty good using that. I got a core for 84. So these are with the paired up. Some of them might be projected higher if they're not paired up. And I got a core deep for 123. So that type of thing. And then you can go keep on building lineups out. So it's a pretty neat tool. I'm glad they got it going. So check it out. It's luckytrader.com. The marketplace one, they really need to add a sort by price versus that. So like if I'm looking for running backs that are rare, that aren't a superstar, I guess you can just go like current week. And then if you don't want to look at the different sets, well, you probably do want to look at the different sets. But like they have Ramondre, there's a $54 one. I wish you could like say over 10 points projected and under $60 type of thing. But it's pretty cool. They use a proprietary ranking system that considers their season-long fantasy projection for the current week, card set tier, superstar status, and schedule bonuses. So let's see, estimated price. So they have these Saquons as overvalued. That's what this difference is. So they have Mixon as undervalued, which I think it is. Let's see, Connor. It'd be nice if he did anything. A.J. Dillon, Etienne. And then the overvalued ones they have is Jacobs, Pierce. I mean, I have these guys, and I'm thinking they're going to be good. They're just off this week. I mean, Jacobs has been good. I have a whole bunch of those. He's been great. Let's see, overvalued. Wait, difference. There. Actually, no, the Chubb they have is the most overvalued. The Wilson, but remember, there's rarity levels on these. I mean, there's not as many cards on Wilson. Chubb, Fournette, Kenneth Walker, rookie, Wilson, Hall, rookie, Chubb, Saquon, Pierce. So that could just be that particular one because it's a prize one. Then if you wanted to look at the superstar, let's say, just the running backs, that's one way to compare just the guys sort of by themselves. There, like Eckler, you can go, okay, 53, McCaffrey, 49, Cook, 39, 36, Henry, 42. And, it works, Najee Harris, 22. So, and like I said, I think a good way to search the projections is probably by narrowing it down by set. And momentum's generally got the lowest price or booster, usually. So, that's interesting. They have Ramondre is literally the number one running back. Let's see who they have as the number one. And that's just for this week. Number one quarterback. They got Brady above Herbert and Burrow. Let's see, number one wide receiver. They got Debo really high. Metcalf and Lockett starting to get some respect. A.J. Brown pretty low. Hill pretty low. Godwin pretty high. Schuster pretty high. Then tight ends. Let's take a quick look. Kelsey, Andrews, Ertz, Higbee, Kittle, Goddard, Njoku, Everett, Pitts, Hurst, Ingram, Henry, Irv Smith, Tanyan. Kickers. McPherson, Joseph, Tucker, Bass, Gould, Gay, Suckup, Koo, McManus. And then defenses. Buffalo, Chargers, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Those are all 6-6-6. So they're very little difference on the defenses. They sort of have Buffalo one head above. Anyway, so pretty cool site. It's got some good information on here, and it's easier to sort than the Rainmakers. You can't buy off here directly or put lineups in here off here directly, which would be nice. And you got to question if their projections are good, and you still have to keep track of guys that you have that are in the showdown, so you're not using and stuff like that, because you want to use them in the deep rosters. Otherwise, they don't get used. And that, like I said, I kind of like to go the way I did. I kind of like to see what I have for the showdowns first. And I always start with the rare because that's the level I'm focusing on. So you might start with the lead if that's what. And then I'm tending to use the better core players in the rare contest. And then I'll do a couple of the mains and then probably a couple deep rosters and go back and forth depending. Depends on how deep your tight ends, kickers, and defenses are, because the deep has been better to cash in lately. Anyway, hope that's useful. And just put your username in there if you want to see your portfolio. That wasn't correct the last time I looked at it. A lot of this wasn't, but it looks like they've updated it. So luckytrader.com for some Rainmakers information.